Welcome back to my channel IMDb 8 Recap. Today I'm going to explain the thriller action movie Lost Bullet 2, released in the year 2022. The movie is about Leno, who is on the hunt for his brother's killers. A criminal fall into his hands, but he finds that he cannot punish him. But before we begin to tell you the story, please subscribe to our channel as we really need your support to grow and keep making these amazing recaps. Thanks, from the team of IMDb 8 Recap, if you have subscribed, and beware of the spoilers. The movie opens in a hospital, where Leno wakes up and Julia is sitting beside him. She tells him he went through the windshield, and the forensic team retrieved the bullet. Also, he's inquiring about Areski and Marco. She claims they both escaped and that police are looking for them. Julia informs him that she went to the farm and discovered Shiraz's body. She saw what Marco did to him. But Julia didn't tell him the most important detail. She went to the farm and found Marco there. He has been chosen to be a police witness, so he has been granted security and will be released soon. Leno would have been furious if he found out and would not have left Marco alive, which is why the police hide Marco from him. Instead of joining the duty after he recovers, he pursues Areski's wife, Stella. Stella comes to Leno one day, exhausted, and tells him that Areski will never return for her and their child. So he should stop following her. After a while, Julia comes to warn him not to do such things. Leno refuses Julia's warning and continues to follow Stella. In the next scene, Leno arrives at Stella's house while a police car is parked in front of it. When the police mobile leaves on an emergency call, after some time, Leno notices a man standing in front of Stella's house. Now we see Stella sitting on the couch and desperately smoking a cigarette. Some masked men burst into the house, and Stella runs and locks herself in her son's room. Stella learns from one of the men that Areski sent them to take her. She becomes terrified upon hearing this. However, outside, Leno approaches the man and rams his head into the gate frame. Then he comes in and fights with these men, killing all of them. The police also arrive there, and Leno informs Julia that the men were sent by Areski. She hands Leno the key to the police garage and asks him to start work the next day. Leno goes there and begins working on his car. A year has passed. Leno has taken on the responsibility of protecting Stella and her baby, and Leno is still looking for Areski. He is working on his car when Julia asks him to go out, but he declines because Stella has arrived to pick him up. Julia watches him walk away. She likes him but does not express it. Julia is going over the plan with her team. They are going after a drug dealer. Leno and Julia pursue the drug dealers in Leno's car, and during the chase they cross the border from France to Spain. Alvaro, who is a Spanish police officer, goes after the same criminals with his team. The drug dealer's vehicle flips over. Because they were apprehended in Spain, Alvaro refuses to hand them over to Julia, and they are now in the custody of Spanish authorities. Alvaro approaches Leno and tells him that Shiraz was his best friend. He also notifies him that Marco is being sought by Spanish authorities. Leno informs him that he will first apprehend Marco and send him a photograph of him. They return from Spain empty-handed. A few days later, Leno is doing an experiment on the car when the power goes out. Julia scolds him, claiming that doing so would endanger his life. After some time has passed, Leno receives a phone call from a woman informing him that his mother is gravely ill and wishing to meet his brother Shiraz. He tells her that Shiraz has died, but he will visit his mother. He asks for the address and then leaves to go to that location. When Leno arrives, Moss sees him on camera and calls Julia. She believes Julia sent him there, but she knows nothing about it. Julia also leaves for that place. When Leno walks in, Marco thinks Julia has arrived, but when he sees Leno, he flees for his life. Leno grabs a nearby shovel and chases him down. With a single blow, he knocks him out. Leno loads Marco into the car and speeds away before Julia arrives. He goes straight to headquarters and asks Marco about Areski. He claims that no one knows where he is. Moss wishes to stop Leno, but Marco tells her that Leno must be aware of the truth. She reluctantly informs him that Marco has agreed to be a government witness. Leno can't harm him because of this. He will be released after testifying against Areski. Leno is enraged to learn that Marco has murdered and betrayed 3 police officers, but he will be released easily. And leaves when he discovers Julia also lied to him. After a while, Alexander Race arrives with his team. In fact, the entire plan is Race's because he is a corrupt officer who, on orders from his boss, wants to eliminate Marco because he is a threat to the drug mafia. Leno, on the other hand, does not allow this to happen, which is why he returns and takes Marco with him. Race will never want to let go of Marco. He tries everything he can to stop Leno, but Leno fights the entire team and drives Marco away in a car. Leno photographs him and sends it to Alvaro. He is determined to punish Marco at any cost, and the Spanish police are looking for him. Lino believes Marco will be punished for his crimes in Spain and wants to transport him there. But the cops won't let Lino because Marco is the only witness against Oresky. All checkpoints are closed, making Lino's drive to Spain appear impossible. Julia is also pursuing him with her team, and her car flips during the chase. Lino is worried about her but can't stop himself. Julia pursues him, even more enraged than before. In the next scene, we see Lino inviting Alvaro to come to France instead of Spain. Lino hands Marco over to Alvaro, who arrives in a white van with his men. His next plan is to divert Julia's and Race's attention so that Alvaro can easily cross the border. Julia chases after Leno's car and soon catches up with him. Upon checking his car, she discovers that Marco is not with Lino. Lino is apprehended before Alvaro crosses the border, and Julia informs the border checkpoint that all vehicles will be thoroughly searched. In the meantime, when Alvaro notices the border checkpoint, he turns the van and comes into view of everyone. Alvaro intends to travel to Spain via the port. Julia orders that a blockade be placed on the route from which Alvaro is going to Spain, but discovers that Race has already done so. Lino and Julia are both concerned when they hear this because Alvaro's life, as well as Marco's, is now in danger. Using Lino's phone, Julia warns Alvaro. On the other hand, Alvaro notices Race's car and crosses the blockade without stopping. Race's team ambushes and shoots Alvaro. Alvaro and his companions get hurt. Whereas Julia and Lino drive their own cars to assist Alvaro and Marco. Julia wants Marco to live, and Lino cannot put Alvaro's life in danger because of him. Lino blows up Race's vehicles one by one with his own electric bar gadgets. Julia collides with Alvaro's van and takes Marco with her. After getting Race's men out of the way, Lino tries to blow up Julia's car, but his car won't keep up, and the car's engine breaks down. Lino gets desperately out of the car and sits on the side of the road. Other policemen also arrive there, and Lino is arrested. Julia informs Moss that she wants to exchange Lino for Marco. Meanwhile, Race makes it there. When Marco notices that they are occupied, he flees in the car in which Lino is handcuffed. Lino continues to kick Marco, causing the car to become unbalanced and collide with a tree. As Marco gets out of the car and sits on the ground, Lino slams the door in his face, knocking him unconscious. He then drags him to the mainland of Spain. Exhausted, Lino walks over to a nearby bar, where a woman is cleaning. He is drinking water when Marco attacks him from behind with a fork. That woman notices Marco stabbing Lino. Marco pursues her with the intent of killing her. He apprehends the woman and brings her in front of Lino, at which point Julia arrives. Lino tells Julia to leave Marco after he threatens to kill that woman. When Julia throws her gun at Marco, she attacks him as his attention is drawn to the gun. During their fight, Julia shoots Marco, leaving him seriously injured. She becomes furious because she is determined to keep Marco alive at all costs. Lino stands up, comes to Marco, and shoots him dead. When this horrible chase settled down, Lino found it difficult to survive and asked Julia to look after Stella and her baby. Moss tells Julia that they will unquestionably frame Lino for Marco's death. But Julia says she will no longer support her in her lies and quits her job. The scene then shifts to a man at the car junkyard, who is taking some of Lino's belongings and placing them in a box, after which Lino's car is crashed. Oresky arrives on his bike, and the man hands him the box. He takes a golden pendant from it. He gives the man his bike and leaves in a van. Overall, Lost Bullet 2 is a great movie to watch with an amazing storyline, so make sure to check it out. To watch many more exciting recaps like this, don't forget to subscribe, as that's the only way we can keep making these fantastic recaps, and like this video. Let us know in the comments section about your next favorite movie that you would like us to recap. Thanks again for watching, and stay safe and healthy.